Hi, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man. And today I'm going to make a video about how to be unbothered, how to just never be bothered, how to not care. Humans don't have this capacity naturally. I don't believe in narcissists. That doesn't exist. Once you have aquamarine and you wear it around someone who's a narcissist, they bawl their eyes out. I've seen grown men, 6'5", muscular, these macho men. When you wear aquamarine near them and they're supposed to be a narcissist, they start crying. They all cry. They all cry. I've never seen one not cry. There's no such thing as a narcissist. If you point me at a narcissist and I wear aquamarine around them, which is this gemstone, they start pouring crying. Like tears. Rivers. So, streams. So, on to my point of how to not care. This is through Jesus, the Most High God. This is through the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Jesus is God. The Holy Spirit is God. The Father is God. So, this is through them. God as one. So this is very important for you guys because, and with the help of your beautiful angels, because people don't really understand that as humans, we're natural empaths. It's disturbing because I focus on every little tiny thing of energy. So when you walk into an environment and then let's just say you're in line and then let's just say your eyes don't normally bother you and they start bothering you and you're like, where'd that come from? And you're like, did I eat something earlier? Did I? It's because someone near you has probably glaucoma or something very bad in their eyes, and you're empathing it. So as humans, we walk through our day, and you look at someone, so I looked at the person who got out the card next to me. It's right there. And I thought about this as a topic for my video. And basically, they're just still humans. So they look like normal humans. So one of them walking away. So I went into I looked into their chakras and then I looked at the outside and they were anxious. They were nervous. They were just kind of like awkward, but they were all kind of in the same boat. And that's why they gravitated towards each other. And that's why they're all kind of sharing it. So you might have friends who are kind of anxious, awkward, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that. If I'm to say that, you shouldn't hang around someone because they're anxious or awkward. That's most of the world. Most people are anxious and awkward. It's just, that's how it is. If you're not an awkward person, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm one of the world's most confident people. I'm one of the most awkward people. Like, for example, and it works. So the more awkward you are, and the more you don't care, the more people think you're the most confident. So it's a complete illusion. So, like, I'll do things that normally embarrass other humans. So I'll look like, for example, if I see someone look at me, I'll say, hi. And I'll say it just like that, hi, what's going? And they'll look at me like, and I'll rip them out of their shell. I'll rip the snail out of the shell to the point where it has to find a new shell. But the thing is, I'll look at someone, I'll say, hi, you like crystals? And if they're an introvert, they'll be like, and then they'll start talking, and then at the end of the day, they're happy. They're talking. Some people are like, I like to be confident too. So it comes from not caring. So how did I get to this point of being this confident? Through Jesus. And Jesus and the beautiful angels taught me that, and this is very important because you guys are taking a long way out. You guys all have the potential to be confident overnight. And yes, I said overnight. Why? It's because there are certain things, basically extra sensories. When you're in an environment, everyone's kind of like a little bit nervous. Everyone's like, kind of like unsure of themselves. So that's why everyone waits for each other to communicate, because everyone's just like, okay, I'll wait for the next person to do it. So they all empath that emotion off each other. So when you just don't care, you actually achieve more. You're like, I don't care, whatever. So that's why I say, and this is how people actually attract their soulmate into their lives. It's because if you know someone you like, just go up to them and be like, and let's just say the connection's there. I like you. Let's go for dinner. Let's watch a movie. Let's go, I challenge you to volleyball. Like, just say whatever. And say it like you mean it. Be like, let's do this. Like, and make it fun. Be like, don't be scary about it. Like, I challenge you to a match of volleyball. I bet you can't take, whatever. Man, woman, man, I don't care who you are. It works for everyone. We're human. If you're a human, this works. Okay? So that's the thing. How do you get to that level of confidence? I'm going to teach us the method in the video, but there's affirmations you can do just to not care. There's something called the law of detachment. You don't care about outcome, whatever. So for people who, I'm going to teach you I'm going to teach you a story. So basically, there's this person who is in their environment. They really like the other person. I'm not going to say who and who. They really like the other person, and the other person really likes them, but one of them is nervous. The person who likes the person who they like is nervous. And the person who they like is waiting for the other person to take action. Maybe the person who they like is unable to take action just because they're so nervous. Like, and it's tragic for both sides if no sides act, because they go, maybe they didn't like me anyway. No, they like you, but they can't act because they're nervous. So you have to, number one, invoke the law of detachment. Just be like, I don't care. Who cares? Just make it fun. So when you see people gambling, or for example, multimillionaires, when they gamble in the casino, like, I don't care what I win. They walk out with more than they walked in there. So they just don't care. So people who care too much, they make, let's just say you made $30,000 in one night. Like, you made a minimum of $30,000 in the casino, and then you care too much. Like, I could make more, then you lose it all. Versus you're like, I really don't care. So that's why when you go in the casino, and let's just say you'll win $10,000, I'm like, whatever. It's not that much. I'm not attached to it like that. And then you make more. So when people go like, oh, I have to pay my rent, you care too much. You're scaring away abundance energies. Like, the actual frequencies of abundance and angels of abundance can feel that. They're like, oh, okay, yikes, 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 yikes. That's what they say. They say yikes, and they're like, there's another one. So you have to come up with your own swag through the law of detachment. So it's like a finesse, but you invoke it. What does invoke mean? You ask God to place that energy within your hand. So God, Jesus, please give me that detachment energy that I need to get this accomplished. So these people who are in interviews, I'll tell you, when I was way younger and I got any job I went to at an interview that God allowed. Some of them were just poisonous, like very bad places to even go to. That's why you guys get blocked from jobs. So I remember I just didn't care. I'm like, at the time I was starting my own business, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. It could mean less to me. I just made it a game. I'm like, I talked to one of my angels, and I basically said, I'm just gonna, like, I was young at the time. I'm like, I'll just mess with them, whatever. I walk in the interview, and I said to the guy, and the guy's like a big, strong, like, kind of like serious, like kind of like one of those interviews, like the challenge, like, well, what are you here for? And I'm like, well, what you brought me here for, like, what? And I don't know how I turned the interview around. I just didn't care. Just the flow of the conversation, I just flipped it around. I turned this giant, like this manager everyone's scared of, and I just made him into like some kind of teddy bear. And he's like, oh, I'm like, and he's like, I don't even know how I did. I just didn't care. I think I challenged him. I can't recall how it even happened, but when you don't care, it'll just happen. That's how people meet their soulmates. So that's how people get the jobs they want too. That's how people start their business. So that's the thing. I was like, I don't even care. Like, I'll just say what I want to say. I'll say what I need to say, and that's it. So he tried to do some kind of like, this is when I was a little child, a young, small child. So basically, and yes, below 18. So in Florida, they have different laws too. So I was getting the job, and I didn't care. I didn't care about school. I didn't care about anything at the time. I'm like, and somehow it turned into me, like, he asked me about my family. Like, I don't know how it even got to that point. I'm like, you tell me. And then after I said something about his family, I'm like, somehow I just basically bounced back the question, because I didn't know what I was doing. It was just so subconscious, because I just didn't care. And he started talking about his family. We started walking around. And then, I don't know, I was just kind of like, almost joking, like, almost trolling in a way. Not trolling, but like, almost like, I like to say trolling. It was just like, I didn't care. I was just like, I made like a really, like, it wasn't smart. It was witty. It was just witty. And I'm like, well, which job in the store am I going to accept? Like, which one pays the best? It's like, and I mean, if you care too much, and if you ask that, like, little confidence, like, well, I would like a higher paying one, then they can feel that. And they're like, well, I don't think you deserve it, because you're not even sure that, like, you're not confident with it. So I was just like, give me the best paying one there is. Like, and like, I'm like, just, I don't care how it happens. Just, I mean, I said, just give me the best one. He's like, well, there's two best ones. There's two or three best ones. You want to be over here? Or you want to be over here? I'm like, I don't know. Which one has better hours? Like, which one has more free schedule? I'm like, and then it was almost laughable. And I got home, and I was just like, and then the first couple of weeks, I was just getting paid to do nothing. Like, oh, I just want you to sit right here. Like, and then I was just like, oh, okay. So I thought about it. I'm like, I was like, what happened? It's because I didn't care. So what's the message of that? It's because I just didn't care. I don't care. What happens if you're in a relationship and you care too much about that person doing something else? Maybe he or she looked at someone, and now your heart's pumping. Here's a little secret. Someone can empath your heartbeat. So now he or she feels you got freaked out when they looked at someone, and now they're uncomfortable. Now they're anxious, and now they want to get away because you're being too much. Versus you don't care. If you're in a relationship where you just don't care, like whatever, but you're both faithful, then the person's going to be super magnetized to you. And I'll use another example. Basically, someone she was losing her boyfriend because she just cared a little bit too much. And it's like, well, I'm trying to bring him closer to me, but every time I get closer, he gets farther. And I was like, okay, stop. Because she was crying. But I said, back up a second. Pull your energy, call your energy back to you. Focus on yourself. Say, affirmations, I don't care. If it works out, I don't care. If it doesn't, I don't care. God has something for me regardless, whether it does or doesn't. I just don't care. I don't. And that's the number one affirmation that I like you guys to say, I don't care. I really don't. So you might have to say it for 31 days straight. Like, I just don't. Think of a problem you have, like, it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't. If it's not something that I can improve or fix, I'll let God take care of it. I just don't care. Whatever. Who cares? What are you going to do? Stress about it anyway? So just make it fun. Like, I don't care. Just say it over and over. Because, I mean, if you want to see how people who you guys think are narcissists make it to some extreme success, because they just don't care. They're not true narcissists, but they've held I don't care energy for so long. So it's like, I don't care. Whatever. Whatever. So that's how they progress. People get mad, like, oh, this narcissist, they're getting a raise and a promotion because they don't care. They probably don't even want it. They're probably just numb. So numb yourself. Because if you're an empath and you feel absolutely everything, you're going to suffer. You're going to be the worst suffering person on this whole planet. If you feel what everyone felt all the time, you'd have so much pain that you'd want to, and that's not cool. So, because some people do. It's unfortunate. So stop caring. You got to cut off nerves. So what happens if you're getting a tattoo and let's just say you have everyone has different amount of sensory in different places. So let's just say if it's in between your fingers, and I've never got a tattoo, but I've done things with, in ritual with my hands. Let's just say that, and it involved a little bit of poking. So it wasn't fun. It was not fun, but I understand it was worse than getting a tattoo. So, basically, if you think about it too much, all your sensory is going there, and it hurts the most. So when you're like, I don't care. So that's why when you hurt yourself, your body goes into a fight or flight mode. Like, let's just say you walked into something. You're like, and you hurt yourself, but you're in public and you're like, I just gotta get home, whatever, who cares? But then you notice later on, it's like, ouch, what the? It's because your brain had an I don't care sensor. Let's get out of here. That's why people can fight off wild animals when they're attacked by wild animals temporarily, because their body's just like, I don't care mode. That's how that guy, he killed a mountain lion. Yeah, that's a good example. So his body was in I don't care mode. I don't care. So practice the affirmations, I don't care. I've taught about this before, and I'm going to teach about it again, because you better know right now, in February, towards the end of February, the planets are doing a little something extra, making people care. So this is the best time to not care, because it makes it easier to not care on this time. You're like, whatever, I don't care. So if someone upset you, okay, I detach. Oh, that's another one. Say, I detach. I detach, I don't care, I disassociate. So this is the fastest way to make money. Because the reason why you guys, let's just say, and that's the thing, right? For example, if you're waiting for a check for months and months and months, you're killing the energy. You're strangling it. You're the reason it hasn't come. It's not God. It's not, I mean, in essence, it's God letting you learn the power of your own energy. You strangle it. That's why if you think about someone you like too much, you're going to run them away. That's why when you don't care, it's just like, you don't even think about that person. And they come around just like, hello, let's hang out. Because they feel your energy is gone. You don't care. And it's like, I mean, it magnetizes someone when you don't care. So I'll give you another example. I know someone back then, and God bless his heart and soul, he was not the most attractive dude. So, and he's around a bunch of women. So he just didn't take care of himself. He's like wearing pajamas when he goes out. He's in the club wearing pajamas. He sits at a chair like a little kid, swinging the legs or putting his legs up. And he just doesn't care. He has his friends with him or whatever. And this shocked me a long time ago. This has never left my mind. So he was so detached. People, sometimes they would make fun of him, but women would swarm him. Women would swarm him. And then when they got close to him, he'd just make jokes. He's like, he doesn't care. He's like, it's supposed to be in, and it somehow made some form of attraction energy. People glamored him because they just looked at him as like, so like, because, I mean, if you pay attention to someone in public, when they look at you and you look up at them back and you start caring, they look away because they have what they want. So they have attention, which if you don't care, they don't get to take your energy. So this guy was just like, I don't care, whatever. And then he would have two women talking to him, competing, two women on each side of him competing to talk to him. Basically like, not Boaz and Joshua. What's the other story in the Bible? Ruth and, okay. I have to go back into this, the Bible to get the actual story. So this is why Jesus and the angels says, write it down and then teach it in the videos. But basically, if you just don't care, it's just like, you're more sought after. You are more sought after. Song of Solomon. It's in the Song of Solomon, guys. I'll have to talk about that later. But basically, this dude just sat there. I've never seen anything like it. I have never, ever seen anything like it. One woman, and this is the thing, I don't condone that behavior, but I'm just like, he didn't care. So he wasn't doing anything with it anyway, but he would still attract the woman of his dreams just by not doing anything. Like, one woman on each side of him, in essence, it was the woman's fault because he wasn't trying to attract them. He's just sitting there, and these women, there's two women on both sides of him competing over him, literally one's talking here, one's talking there, trying to pull his attention, and it's just like he's just sitting back on his phone laughing, and I'm like, what is this? What kind of magic is he using? What kind of love magic? And I was younger at the time. I'm like, is he doing some kind of like love magic? And basically, the Lord and the angels basically said, yeah, he doesn't care magic. He just doesn't care. So I'm like, because everyone back then not back then, everyone now, like, I used to think that love spells would work, and that's why people would do that. It's just because they don't care. So I'll talk about that in a video, why you should never do a love spell. It actually pushes people the furthest away from you. If you ever want to get someone away from you, a love spell will make them run. It'll make the person block you. It'll make them, anytime you do a love spell, it's because you put so much care into that actual love spell that you are now repulsive. What happens if you take an end of a magnet and then you stick it together? You did the love spell because you cared about that person so much to the point where you wanted them close to you, so you were that desperate to do the love spell, and you sent them flying away. So normally when people stop caring is when they come around. It's just like, and you don't even want them. It's like, I actually don't want them. So then it doesn't matter, because now you have an unattractive person breaking in your window with a rock trying to get into your home. Okay? So the whole point, I'm going to share my secrets again. I don't care. I disassociate. I detach. If you have an ex, if you cannot get over your ex, it's because you don't want to get over them. Subconsciously, your brain says, I don't want to. I like this in my back of my mind. So say this affirmation. For example, I don't care about my ex. I disassociate from them, and I detach from them. I just don't care about them. They don't mean anything to me. They don't mean, they're not doing anything for me. Why are they there? So just don't do that. Constantly do it whenever it pops up. Like, I really don't care. Say, I really don't care. That's the thing. Someone can give you a funny look by accident, but if you were to pursue them and you'd fight them, and now you both go to jail, or someone's going to jail, that's a felony. Or, yeah. So basically, depending on how bad, but if you look at them and you're like, I don't care, whatever. And the person might not have even looked at you with a mean face. Maybe maybe they're awkward. Remember how I said people are awkward? I had someone the other day look at me like, and I looked at the person, and it's a guy. He just looked at me like, and later on, he basically, I'm like, I just ignored it, because usually I'd be like, what? But I just brushed it off. So he came up to me like kind of like from the side later on and said, I love the gemstones. And I'm like, that's what I meant. I'm going to teach about this tomorrow. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. People could just be admiring you, like, or what you're wearing. Like, oh, cool gemstones. I like my own necklace. And I ended up, he ended up getting a necklace too. So that's the thing. You can't judge a book by its cover. So I just didn't care. I could have been like, hey, why are you looking like that? But he's like, and that's the thing. Some people, you see people in public, be like, and they're looking at you like that. They can't see you. That person's blind. That person, you ever see a person like looking at you like that? That person probably has cataracts, glaucoma. They can't see you. And I've experienced that too. I remember I was in the gym today, and I seen someone look at me like this. And then they're like this. They kind of like squinted on it, and like, hi. I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. So if you don't care, it just changes everything. If you care too much, you're going to be screwed. Get a custom necklace, and you really won't care. Do the affirmations, wear a custom necklace, you're like, I don't care, abundance is coming to me anyway. And when you don't care, everything is awesome. It's awesome. It's not being a narcissist. It's you claiming your life. Because if you, and I want to touch last point. If you care about something too much, God will stop a blessing from coming in. He'll be like, you care too much, I'm going to wait for you to stop caring. And then when you stop is normally when your blessing comes in. It's because God said, okay, you were done, so I'm going to start. Any questions, ask them in the comment section. Get a necklace from FloridaStoneman.com. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!